redefining youth.
Have you heard about telomeres? Probably not. Telomeres are the end of the chromosome. They are here to protect our DNA. They are also made of DNA, but the sequences which are forming telomeres are repetitive DNA, which means that they are made of the same genetic codes repeated 2,000 times. One way to describe telomeres is to compare them to aglets. You know, these plastic caps at the end of the shoelaces. Just as aglets keep shoelaces from falling apart at the end, telomeres keep the ends of DNA from fraying. So why this DNA is made of repetitive DNA sequences? What for? When cells divide and multiply, it is very important that the DNA remain intact. If we lose portion of the information which is in our DNA every time it is replicated, human life will just be impossible. So with every replication of our DNA, part of the telomere sequence is chopped off. But this really doesn't matter, because we are losing the same sequences of nucleotides, the same code. There is still another identical sequence. This is how nature protects the DNA in a chromosome. Meanwhile, after 50 to 70 division, the cells in our body reach a stage where there is no more telomeres to protect our DNA. So these cells cannot longer reproduce themselves. They reach what we call a retirement-like state in which they die or no longer divide. This end point is called senescence. And when senescence reaches a majority of cells, we die of old age. Today, we can measure the biological age of cells by the length of the telomere. When we are conceived, the embryo has about 15,000 base pair in its telomere. By the way, a base pair is a standard unit of measurement in the chromosome. And the total length of a DNA strand is 3 billion base pairs. So after many replication, a newborn have only 10,000 pairs in each telomeres. And we already lost 33% of our telomere length. In a sense, we start to die the minute we are conceived. When telomeres are reduced to 5,000 base pairs, our cells become senescent and die. We are losing approximately 40 to 50 base pairs every year. So theoretically, it should take 120 years to get all our telomeres reaching these 5,000 base pairs. This is why some scientists believe that the maximum lifespan is about 120 years. And by the way, the world record of longevity is still belonging to Jeanne Calment, a French lady who died in 1997 at the age of 122 years. What a coincidence! Even worse, when a good proportion of telomeres are reaching the 5,000 pair limit, our immune system is not longer efficient, and we become very sensitive to chronic diseases. Why telomeres are shortening in humans while in some other species they are always at full length? Elizabeth Blackburn from the University of California, Berkeley, discovered why, and with this discovery she won the Nobel Prize in 2009. While she was working on germinal cells, the ones which are responsible for reproduction, she found out that their telomeres never shorten. And this is against a nature miracle, in a sense that life will be impossible if an embryo inherited from his parent short telomeres. Considering the millions of necessary cells duplication during pregnancy, all the cells will reach senescence in few days, and the fetus will never reach maturity. Elizabeth found out why. The germinal cells has a special enzyme called telomerase, which is genetically controlled and activated permanently. When telomerase is activated, it will rebuild every piece of telomere which is lost, and this is almost magic. Piece by piece, brick by brick. So why it is not the same in all the other cells? Elizabeth Blackburn found out that all our cells possess telomerase, but unfortunately they are in a sleeping state. Their gene is repressing them to work. Why? Well, it's still a secret that nature is keeping. But if we discover how to turn the telomerase gene from off to on in all our cells, we may have the secret of immortality. And this is why many research labs try to discover. One of them, the JEUNESSE Corporation in US, while working on ancient Chinese remedies, discovered that in the root of one herb called Astragalus membranus, there was one specific ingredient capable of turning on the telomerase gene. They call it telomerase activator, and give it a special name code, TA65. JEUNESSE Corporation worked almost 10 years in this TA65, searching for safety and efficiency in vitro first, which means in cell culture, and in vivo means on human cells. They sold all the patent and result to a New York-based company, TA Science, which is now promoting the molecule all over the world. So what is the connection with FINITI? JEUNESSE made an agreement with TA Science to get exclusive rights to use TA65 all over the world in the direct cells industry, and we included TA65 in FINITI. While TA65 being the major ingredient, it is not the only one. We included vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B6, vitamin B9, and other ingredients as choline, fucoidan, coenzyme Q10, purslane, which is rich in omega-3, tocotrienol, and tocopherols. So what happened when we start using FINITI? After taking FINITI, telomerase start to be activated in cells where telomeres are critically short. At the moment when telomeres are longer than 5,000 base pair, cells start to divide again, and life is back in those cells. It is progressive as TA65 reach more and more cells. And if you take it on a regular basis, the process of cells rejuvenation will start. The good news is that TA65 has a so-called transient effect, which means that it will activate telomerase only if telomeres are critically short, and will stop any effect when telomeres are long enough to induce cellular division. What are the visible benefits? The most important benefit is for our immune cells. they have been affected by insufficient numbers of functional cells, and they will start to regain activity, which means better protection against bacteria, against virus, and against diseases. This benefit has been documented in several clinical trials. Then other benefits may appear: better vision, better libido, better fat loss, wound healing, improving bone density, better skin. How taking it? 2 capsules twice a day at any moment, before, during, or after meals. Benefits are starting to be visible after 2 to 3 months of regular use. Who should not take it? Children. There is no need for children, as their telomeres are still long enough. Young adults, for the same reason, starting at the age of 35, should be reasonable. Anybody with a medical condition should consult his physician for advice before taking FINITI. FINITI is a unique product, exclusive to JEUNESSE. Enjoy! My name is William Amzalag. See you at our next episode. Thank you.
JEUNESSE. We are redefining youth.